We like to think love is a logical choice, something we can control with our minds and intentions. It feels comforting to believe that if we just make the right decisions, we can avoid heartbreak and disappointment. We imagine love as a matter of finding someone who checks all our boxes, a partner who fits our ideals, shares our values, and meets our needs. We make lists, talk with friends, and try to approach relationships with reason. But if love were purely rational, why do we so often find ourselves repeating painful patterns, ending up with partners who hurt us or leave us feeling unfulfilled? Why do we sometimes feel drawn to people who aren't good for us, even when we know better? The truth is, love is often an unconscious pull, shaped by our earliest emotional experiences, long before we ever start dating. Our hearts are drawn to what feels familiar, even if it isn't always healthy. Our childhoods create an emotional blueprint, an internal map of what feels like home in a relationship. The way we were loved or not loved as children sets the stage for the connections we seek as adults. For some, home is safety, warmth, and acceptance. For others, it's chaos, unpredictability, or even emotional distance. These early experiences shape our expectations and our sense of what love should feel like. This is where trauma bonds can form, intense attachments built on cycles of pain and comfort, where love and hurt become intertwined. We may find ourselves stuck in relationships that echo the emotional highs and lows of our past. We crave the very person who hurts us, not by conscious choice, but because of old patterns wired deep within us. Our hearts chase the familiar even when our minds know it's not what we truly need. Understanding this isn't about blame, it's about self-compassion. When we see the map that's been guiding us, we can begin to understand our choices and feelings with more kindness and less judgment. Only by recognizing these roots and patterns can we begin to chart a new, healthier course in love. One that's guided by awareness, healing, and the possibility of real change. To understand our love lives, we must look back to our first relationships with our caregivers. Attachment theory explains how these early bonds shape our expectations and behaviors in adult relationships. Secure attachment develops when a child's needs are met consistently, teaching them that love is safe and reliable. Secure adults are comfortable with intimacy and independence, communicate openly, and see conflict as solvable. But not everyone grows up with this foundation. If your childhood was unpredictable or lacking, your attachment system adapted for survival. These adaptations, though once protective, can create struggles in adult relationships. Recognizing your attachment style isn't about fault, it's about understanding the strategies you learn to cope. With awareness, you can begin to shift these patterns. Healing starts with knowing what shaped you. The anxious, preoccupied attachment style often takes root in childhood, when a caregiver's love and attention are unpredictable, sometimes warm and nurturing, other times distant or distracted. This inconsistency leaves a child unsure of when comfort will come, creating a deep longing for closeness and a fear of being left alone. Over time, this unpredictability teaches a child to become hypervigilant, always on the lookout for signs of affection or withdrawal. They may constantly seek reassurance, feeling anxious whenever their caregiver's attention shifts away, and learning to read even the smallest changes in mood or behavior. As adults, those with an anxious attachment style often crave deep connection, but are haunted by the fear of abandonment. They may feel incomplete or unworthy without a partner, and relationships can become the center of their emotional world, making solitude feel especially painful. They may fall in love quickly, idealizing new partners and becoming emotionally invested early on. The highs of intimacy feel exhilarating, but the lows, moments of doubt or distance, can be devastating, leading to emotional ups and downs that are hard to manage. Even small signs of distance, like a delayed text or a distracted conversation, can trigger intense anxiety and self-doubt. The mind races with worries of rejection, and the need for reassurance can become overwhelming. This attachment style is especially vulnerable to toxic or emotionally unavailable partners, creating a painful cycle of pursuit and withdrawal. The more distant a partner becomes, the harder the anxious person tries to reconnect, often losing themselves in the process. The emotional roller coaster of these relationships can feel like true love, but it's really a pattern of intermittent reinforcement, moments of closeness followed by periods of uncertainty, which only deepen the longing for connection. Healing begins with learning to self-soothe, build self-worth from within, and tolerate the discomfort of uncertainty. Practices like mindfulness, journaling, and self-reflection can help break the cycle and foster inner security. The goal isn't to stop needing people, but to seek out healthy, secure connections, relationships where both partners feel safe, valued, and respected. Remember, you are already whole and worthy with or without a partner. True closeness begins with the relationship you have with yourself. The dismissive avoidant attachment style develops when a child's needs are met with rejection or indifference. To cope, they learn to suppress emotions and rely only on themselves. As adults, avoidants appear independent and confident, but struggle with emotional intimacy. They keep partners at arm's length, fearing that closeness means losing control or being let down. When relationships get serious, they may withdraw or find faults to create distance. Their independence is a shield, not a true preference. Healing for avoidance means slowly dismantling this fortress, learning to express needs and tolerate vulnerability. True strength is found in allowing connection, not avoiding it. It's safe to let the right people in. The fearful avoidant or disorganized attachment style emerges from a childhood marked by deep confusion, where the caregiver is both a source of comfort and a source of fear. For these children, the person they instinctively turn to for safety is also the one who sometimes causes distress or unpredictability. This creates a powerful internal conflict, as the child's need for closeness is tangled with anxiety and mistrust. The child is caught in a constant tug-of-war, desperately wanting connection but feeling unsafe when they get too close. This push and pull leads to a sense of chaos, leaving the child unsure of how to get their needs met or who to trust. As adults, these early experiences echo in their relationships. They crave intimacy and closeness, yet the fear of being hurt or abandoned is ever present. This creates a push-pull dynamic within themselves and with their partners, making it difficult to feel secure or settled. Relationships often become intense and unstable, marked by cycles of passionate closeness, followed by sudden withdrawal or conflict. The emotional highs and lows can be exhausting, both for the person with this attachment style and for their loved ones. Healing this pattern is challenging and often requires trauma-informed therapy. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to face painful memories and emotions. The goal is to build a sense of safety and a cohesive self, often starting with a secure therapeutic relationship. Through consistent support, individuals can begin to trust, set boundaries, and develop healthier ways of relating to others. It's about learning that love doesn't have to be mixed with fear, and that it's possible to experience closeness without losing oneself or feeling threatened. Grieving the past and acknowledging old wounds is an important part of the process. It allows for healing and the release of patterns that no longer serve. Step by step, with support and self-compassion, it's possible to find stability, trust, and genuine connection in love, transforming old storms into new beginnings. Trauma bonds aren't love. They're powerful attachments formed through cycles of pain and reward. Inconsistency is the key ingredient. Moments of kindness mixed with abuse create an addictive loop. This is called intermittent reinforcement, the same principle that makes gambling so compulsive. The brain craves the unpredictable highs, mistaking relief after conflict for happiness. We confuse drama for passion, clinging to the good moments to survive the bad. Leaving a trauma bond is like breaking an addiction. It's not just a choice, but a battle with your own biology. Withdrawal can bring anxiety, cravings, and confusion. Recognizing the relationship as an addiction is the first step to breaking free. Support and strategy are essential for healing. Freedom is possible, but it takes time and commitment. Why do we repeat the same painful relationships? Freud called it repetition compulsion, an unconscious drive to reenact old wounds. We're drawn to familiar dynamics, hoping to finally fix the past. A child who craved a distant parent's love may seek out unavailable partners, trying to win the affection they never got. The brain prefers the familiar even if it's painful. Calm, healthy love can feel unsettling to someone used to chaos. Breaking the cycle means making the unconscious conscious, seeing the patterns and their origins. Therapy can help reveal these hidden connections. Healing comes from grieving the original pain, not endlessly repeating it. Awareness is the first step, but real change requires action. Identify your attachment style. Reflect on your patterns and triggers. Learn to spot red flags: early love bombing, boundary violations, emotional unavailability. Make a list of these warning signs and use it as a guide when dating. Healing old wounds often means working with a therapist. Modalities like EMDR or CBT can help. Practice setting and enforcing boundaries. They define what you will and won't accept. Build a fulfilling life outside of romance. Nurture friendships, hobbies, and your own goals. When dating, go slowly and pay attention to how you feel, not just the excitement. Choose partners who make you feel safe, respected, and calm. This conscious approach is your best defense against repeating the past. Breaking free from toxic patterns is hard, but you deserve a love that feels safe and nourishing. Your worth isn't defined by someone else's ability to love you. Healing is about reclaiming your confidence, peace, and joy. Build a healthy gate around your heart. Let in those who earn your trust. Vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. Healthy love is steady, not dramatic. It's the comfort of being truly seen and accepted. You are the author of your next chapter. The past doesn't have to define your future. The journey to healthy love begins now.